So, I'd like to sing this song, which most of you will know the first 4 verses of, and I thought we'll do the whole song, but we'll break up the verses that you may be less familiar with, so that everyone can follow. Is the sound working in the other 2 rooms? Yes, wonderful. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Let's see. Haraye, namah. haraye, namah Krishna, yādavāya, namah. Haraye, namah Krishna, yādavāya, namah. Yādavāya, mādhavāya, keśavāya, namah. Yādavāya, mādhavāya, keśavāya, namah. Gopāla-govinda, śrī-madhusūdana. Gopāla-govinda, śrī-madhusūdana. Giridhari gopinath madana-mohana. Giridhari gopinath madana-mohana. śrī-caitanya-nityānanda, śrī-advaita-sītā. śrī-caitanya-nityānanda, śrī-advaita-sītā. Hare Guru-vais Bhagavata-gītā. Hare Guru-vais Bhagavata-gītā. Śrī-rūpa, śrī-sanatana, bhatta-raghunātha. Śrī-rūpa, śrī-sanatana, bhatta-raghunātha. śrī-jīva, gopāla-bhat, dāsa-raghunātha. śrī-jīva, gopāla-bhat, dāsa-raghunātha. Echai gosai kori, echai gosai kori, charana vandam, charana vandam. jaha hoite bighna-nāś, jaha hoite bighna-nāś, a-pūran, echai goshai jar, mui tarada, tā-sabāra pada-ren, mora pañca-grās, tāndera charana sebi, bhakta shaneva, janame janame hoy, a-lila, echai goshai jabe, brajai koilaba, rādhā-kr nitya-līlā, korila prakash, anande bolo hari, Vajja Vrindavan, śrī-guru-vais aba-pade, śrī-guru-vais aba-pada, padma koriya, narottama das kohe, namah sankirtana, haraye namah Krishna, yādavāya namah, yādavāya mādhavāya keśavāya govinda rāma, śrī-madhusūdana, giridhari gopinath, madana-mohana, śrī-caitanya-nityānanda, śrī-advaita-sītā, Hari Guru Vaishnava Madhya-lila, śrī-rūpa śrī-sanatan vata-raghunātha, śrī-jīva gopāla-bhat dāsa-raghunātha, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Go Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Hari Bo. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Śrī-guru-vais namah Śrī-caitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Radhati Svapadantika Vandeham śrī-guru śrī-yukta-pada-kamalam śrī-guru-vais śrī-rūpam sagrajatam sahagana raghunātham vitam tam sajivam sadvaitam samadutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya-devam Shri-radhā Krishna padam sahagana lalita Shri-vishakam-vitascha namah om Vishnu padaya Krishna prestaya bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti-vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatari Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha-kr Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda śrī-advaita-gadāna Śrī-vasani Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Once more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya-charitamrita Jaya Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. And once more for good measure. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. I feel so grateful to have this opportunity to be with all of you. And I want to start by expressing my own thanks for all of you coming from far, far away, some of you from other continents. And I also want to express my thanks to all the Radhadesh-vasis who have as each year so wonderfully received us. Such hospitality is there. What do you think? No? And I do believe that special thanks go to Manu Prabhu, who, you don't see it, but he actually has mystic powers. So he expands himself into 8 forms. You don't believe me? You just smile and laugh. You don't believe me. Day before yesterday, we heard so wonderfully presented by Achyuta Gopi Mataji how the Lord is greedy. What sort of a religion is this where we worship a greedy Lord? A Lord who is so greedy that he appears in so many forms in order to receive different sorts of love, of devotion from his devotees. It almost sounded like the Lord experiments. He tries out one rasa and then another and then another and then another. And as we also heard from her, eventually the Lord appears as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. And I often like to remember, Srila Prabhupada says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared within the memory of us all. And I always wondered about that. How is it that he appeared within the memory of us all? I personally was not around 500 years ago or so, or who knows, right? Maybe we were all there, but we don't remember. But even if we were not there, certainly there's a kind of collective memory of time over the last 500 or so years, cultural memory and so on. Our time frames are, as we enter into Krishna consciousness, kind of flexible. They're kind of stretching in different ways. One time frame that we hear a lot about is Kali Yuga. It's almost a mantra amongst devotees. Whenever anything unpleasant happens, we're looking for reasons. We want causes. This is our nature, to want to understand things in terms of why. We have a very deep question. Why? Why? And the answer for anything unpleasant, it's Kali Yuga, right? And that settles the matter, right? That explains everything. Well, as we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this age. There's a time concept, time context in which he appears, and he appears for very special reasons. He appears for two reasons, we understand. An internal reason, an external reason. We heard about the internal reason on Friday. We also heard yesterday from Satchidananda Swami Maharaj about the Lord's friendship. First, he explained that the Lord is compared to the sky. You remember? That was a long time ago. It was 24 hours ago. And what was the point of the comparison with the sky? The sky is way up there, yes? Yes? No? Yes? Maybe. It's up there. Where else is it? It's all over. It's right behind our eyelids, you can say. So, and yes, very interesting point he also made is that the Lord is our dear most friend, our closest friend, and also that he is present before, prior to our desires. That's slightly mind-boggling. I thought that's interesting. I thought today, let us read from Chaitanya-charitamrita, because, one reason is because this idea of friendship, the Lord comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has friends. He has many friends. This chapter, Madhya-lila, chapter 11, is called the Veda Kirtan pastimes. What is Veda? Veda, don't ask me, I forgot. I looked it up once, but I forgot. But what's happening is that there has been, where the situation is in Puri, Purushottam Kshetra, or Jagannath Puri, and there has been the Snan Yatra 2 weeks prior to Jagannath coming out of his temple for a stroll. As Srila Prabhupada once said, the deities come out of the temple for a stroll. You know this word stroll? It's a very relaxed walking, going for a stroll. Spaziergang. How do you say in Netherlands? Wandering. Oh, it's like English, wandering. Okay. And French? Balader. Balader. So before that happens, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Jagannath gets a bath. And what happens when he takes a bath? Can God get sick? What kind of religion is this? He plays that he's getting sick, or maybe he gets sick. In any case, he goes into a short retirement for this 2-week period in which he's cared for by the Dayatas. And the Dayatas are the descendants, said to be the descendants of the Shabaras. The Shabaras were pig farmers who were the original worshippers of Lord Jagannath. And so they take charge for those 2 weeks, and they worship the Lord in their own style. And during that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feels great separation. He wants to see Lord Jagannath every day. Not just, some of us, we come in the temple, we offer obeisance, we feel very pious for a few moments. We might offer a prayer. I'm speaking for myself. And then we say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm very busy, and then we go out. No, Lord Chaitanya, with his associates, and with all kinds of whoever would have kirtan in the temple. This has been explained by one scholar that we should not think that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during his, when he was in the temple of Jagannath having kirtan, we should not think that it was only those devotees who were completely, let's say, had completely surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Gaudiya Vaishnava theology. No, there were all kinds of people, and they were all joining in the kirtan. The different sorts of people worship Lord Jagannath. One time, I'm getting off the topic, but don't mind, in Bhaktivedanta Manor, some years ago, they had Snan Yatra. They bring Lord Jagannath from the, I almost said Bury Place Temple. They bring Lord Jagannath. So we came from Oxford, a few of us, together with one of our visiting scholars who is a Roman Catholic priest. And he's also a scholar of not Gaudiya Vaishnavism, but of Sri Vaishnava tradition and everything related. So we brought him also, and he offered, also he took the conch and he also poured water onto Lord Jagannath. I felt so happy by that. We should have gotten a photo, but maybe he would not appreciate that. Anyway, Lord Chaitanya with all of his associates. Now, Jagannath has disappeared for 2 weeks. What to do? He goes to a place called Alarnath or Alalanath, which is just a few kilometers away, and he stays there for some time. But now there's another problem. the devotees in Puri are feeling separation from him. So after some days they go and they say, you have to come back because the devotees from Bengal are arriving. They come every year for the Ratha Yatra. About 200 devotees come, and they're not coming by train or plane. They're walking the 300 kilometers or miles. It's a long distance. Every year, 200 devotees. Imagine that. That's quite some devotion. And one of them amongst them was Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya, we understand, was some 50 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, how old was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he took sannyas? 24. After he took sannyas, what did he do? He wandered about a bit in a state of too much ecstasy, and then he met Advaita Acharya in Shantipur and then went to Puri because his mother ordered him, you go to Puri and you stay there. Did he stay there? Yes? There's some disagreement here. Some say yes, some say no. Eventually he stays there, but in the beginning, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya tells him, there's one devotee in South India, you must meet him, named Ramananda Rai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Jai. All these devotees are coming, Advaita Acharya is coming. He must be by now at least 74. No, he has to be at least 76. And he's going by foot to Puri. So their arrival is described, and King Prataparudra is very eager to see these devotees. And so Gopinath Acharya suggests that they go up on the roof of the palace. From there they can get a nice view of everyone. And then from there, Gopinath Acharya, not Gopinath Acharya Das, but Gopinath Acharya, many of you, anyway. That joke was lost on most of you. He would point out one after another the different devotees and say who they are. And so that's what our verse to read now is. Where am I? 70. It should be 89. Do we have verse 89 there? Starts. Okay, here we go. Raghava Pandit Iha Acharya Nandana. Raghava Pandita Iha Acharya Nandana. Shriman Pandit Shrikant Narayana. Shriman Pandito Shrikanta Narayan. Raghava Pandita Iha Acharya Nandan. Shriman Pandita Shrikanta Narayan. Here is Raghava Pandit. Here is Acharya Nandana. There is Sriman Pandit. And here are Srikanta and Narayana. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Narottam Das Thakur, honoring the personal associates of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has sung as follows. This is from Prarthana number 13. Gaurangera Shangigane Nitya Siddha Korimane Shejai Rajendra Sutapash. One who is intelligent understands that all the personal associates and devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are ever liberated. This means that because they are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, they do not belong to this material world. One who is engaged in the Lord's devotional service 24 hours daily and never forgets the Lord is called Nitya Siddha. Srila Rupa Goswami confirms this statement. Ihayasya haridasye karmana manasagira nikilase apyaras nikilas apyavastasu jivan mukta sauchate. A person acting in the service of Krishna with body and mind and intelligence and words is a liberated person, even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 12187. A devotee is always thinking of how better to serve Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how to broadcast His name, fame, and qualities throughout the world. One who is Nitya Siddha has no business other than broadcasting the glories of the Lord all over the world according to his ability. Such people are already associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur says, Nitya Siddha Korimane. One should not think that because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present 500 years ago, only his associates were liberated. Rather, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that anyone, let's put an underline there, anyone is a Nitya Siddha if he, or we can say she, if he or she acts on behalf of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by spreading the glories of the holy name of the Lord. I'm going to read that again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present. One should not think that because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present 500 years ago, only his associates were liberated. Rather, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that anyone is a Nitya Siddha if he or she acts on behalf of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by spreading the glories of the holy name of the Lord. We should respect those devotees preaching the glories of the Lord as Nitya Siddha and should not consider their should not consider them conditioned. And then Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita, Mam cha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan rāma bhūyāya kalpate. One who has transcended the material modes of nature is said to be on the Brahman platform. That is also the platform of Nitya-siddha. The Nitya-siddha not only stays on the Brahman platform, but also works on that platform. Simply by accepting the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nitya-siddha, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. Once more, simply by accepting the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nitya-siddha, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead. Anyone want to go back home, back to Godhead? No? Hare Krishna. Well, okay. Yes. So, this is Chaitanya-charitamrita. We usually read śrī-mad-bhagavatam, but I think here also you read Chaitanya-charitamrita on Sundays. Yeah. So that's nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we've been saying, he has friends. And what I was thinking about, one thing to reflect on is that when Lord Chaitanya, at the very end of Chaitanya-charitamrita, is speaking the Shikshastakam, he has two friends with him, Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. And before he, as Krishnadas Kaviraj describes, before he recites the first verse of the Shikshastakam, we all know that verse, Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava vagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnam ritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Yes, we know. Param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. And just before this verse, Lord Chaitanya, speaking to Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, says, explains to them, in this age, this is the best activity for this age of Kali. And the question arises, Hari Parshad Prabhu explains, the question arises, why? Why is Lord Chaitanya saying this to Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy? Certainly they already know this. And they are already, they're the most intimate associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They always, Mahaprabhu, I like to think of Mahaprabhu as the ideal reader of the Bhagavatam. He is teaching us, in a sense, how to read the Bhagavatam. And how does he read it? Well, for one thing, he reads it with friends. And the friends help him to remember different verses. So they will remember a verse and Lord Chaitanya will become, as we say, ecstatic, hearing the verse. As he heard, not from Swarup Damodar or from Ramananda Roy, on a different occasion, Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam śrī-mad-atatam bhuvigrinantiye buddhida jana. And when Lord Chaitanya heard this verse from King Prataparudra, he jumped up and he said, Buddhida! Buddhida! You! You are Buddhida. You are magnanimous because you are sharing this katamritam, which is of the Lord. So this sharing is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would read the Srimad Bhagavatam. And now he's speaking with Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, and he's saying, you know what? The most important thing in this age is chanting Hare Krishna. He doesn't quote it here, but you know the verse. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. And a later author, I'm forgetting his name now, said or wrote, Madhuram madhurebhyopi, Madhuram madhurebhyopi, Mangalebhyopi mangalam, Pavanam pavanebhyopi, Hare Nam eva kevalam. Yes. Yes. He also said, let's see if I can remember now, Abrahma stambaparyantam. Abrahma stambaparyantam. Sarva maya maya jagat. Sarva maya maya jagat. Satyam satyam punar satyam. Hare nam eva kevalam. Hare nam eva kevalam. So anyway, Lord Chaitanya is preaching about the holy name, and the question is, why is he preaching to Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy? Do you want to hear the explanation? Yes. He is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is in this mood? Yes. She is in this mood of feeling compassion for the conditioned souls. And in her mood of compassion, she is saying, Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this is a wonderful thing. There's two things going on at the same time in terms of the Lord and his relationships. He is in the mood of Srimati Radharani, whose mood is one of separation from the Lord, right? And at the same time, he is exchanging with his friends. They're having a very sweet exchange. And that exchange, if you don't have time to read Chaitanya-charitamrita, read the very last chapter, Madhya-lila chapter 20, in which it's all of these 8 verses of the Ashtakam are there, the Shikshashtakam, but in between is described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, especially his dainya, his feelings of humility. And so he's actually teaching us that this is called shikshashtaka. What means shiksha? Instruction. But none of the verses, usually an instruction is in the form of, there will be some verb, either in the imperative form or in the optative form. Do this, do this, do this. The closest we get to this is in the third verse. How does that go? Very good, very good. Kirtaniya. This word is not imperative, it's not optative, but it's a gerundive. And the gerundive has a double kind of sense. Kirtaniya can mean to be chanted or to be glorified. Who is to be glorified? Hari. Right? Why Hari? Why not Krishna? Now we stumped you. Hari is a generic name for God. It's like the English word God or the German word Gott. Grüß Gott. Anyway, Kirtaniya can mean either to be chanted, which means you kind of should chant, or it can also mean is chantable, can be chanted. So there's kind of a stronger and a softer tone to that word. And then we have trinadapi sunichena, that's in the instrumental form, by means of sunicha, the feeling of being nicha. Nicha means low, and sunicha means very low. How low? Maybe one head lower, I'll feel low. Maybe two heads lower. No, trinadapi, lower than the grass. Oh, okay. And if that's not difficult enough, taroho, api, or iva, sahishnuna, hishnu. It's kind of like it sounds, tolerant. Sahishnu, very tolerant. How tolerant? Okay, today I'm going to be tolerant. There's such a big crowd of devotees in the kirtan hall. I will tolerate the crowd. It's kind of crowded, but okay, I'll tolerate. No, more tolerant than a tree. That's too far. What kind of a religion is this? Trinadapi sunichena tarodiva sahishana amanina manadena. Amanina. Mana means regard, respect, honor, all those things. Amanina, without the need to be honored, sitting on the high seat. And mana-dena, mana, da. In English slang, da means stupid. In Sanskrit, da means give or giving. One who gives, mana-da. So what do devotees do in order to be able to go on chanting Krishna's or Hari's name constantly, sada, amanina, manadena, by means of offering respect to others. And this offering respect to others, it's so nice because you can do it in different ways, including in the mind. There's so many ways we can offer respects in the mind. We can appreciate each other in the mind. We may feel a little awkward going up to a devotee and say, Prabhu, you're really great. What? So, but we offer respects, we offer obeisance, and we offer respects by serving. In so many ways we offer respects. But we can offer respect in the mind. And we can offer respect from a distance in the mind. That's very nice. You can offer obeisance in the mind at a distance. That's nice. So this is the closest we get to instruction in the usual sense of instruction in the Shikshashtaka, as far as I can see. But what I see is that we learn these instructions through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mood of how he's remembering these instructions which he has composed. And that is described in chapter 20. So I recommend that you read that chapter. That's my little advice for today. You may not have time to do that today, and you may not have access to it, although everyone has phones nowadays. But that's my suggestion. So now what I would like to do, very briefly, I'd like to do this when many devotees have come for a festival, because it starts to be the time when, although we don't like to think of it, we start to make our plans for having been here. Now we have to go to wherever we have come from. And there's always, or can be, a sort of mixed feeling that comes with that. On the one hand, we feel so much ecstasy from our experience together, chanting the holy name with these wonderful kirtaniyas. Kirtaniya. A kirtaniya is also a person who does kirtan. Anyway, we have this feelings of upliftment, and you might feel a certain sense of dread. No? I don't want to make you feel miserable too early. But I want to suggest a way of counteracting the possible dread that may come to sort of going back to life as usual. And that is through a practice known as affirmations. This is kind of come up in the age of New Age. We have Kali Yuga on one side and we have New Age on the other side. How they relate, that's maybe another topic. But the point is that what is an affirmation? It's a positive statement which is maybe not a true statement in the present, but you would like it to be true. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's not technically an affirmation he made, but it's close. Pritivittayache jata nagaradigram sarvatra prachar hoyibe more nam. It's actually in the future tense. All over the world, in every town, in every village, my name will be chanted. If we turn that into an affirmation, it would be all over the world, in every town and village, people are now chanting my name. So, but he says hoibe, which means will be, it will happen. That was a prediction, you could say, which our Srila Prabhupada took very seriously, where it was taken sort of as a nice fantasy by devotees. Prabhupada took it seriously and literally. And that is our, we are the inheritors of interpreting Shastra literally with respect to this statement in particular. So now what I want to do is ask you to express some affirmation that you would like to be the case. This could be for your own, in relation to your own sadhana. It might be something like, especially for those who don't get up until 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that's none of you. It may be something like, I get up every morning at 4 o'clock and take a shower and chant my rounds attentively. That would be one example. Can you think of other examples? I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and take prasadam? I see you're not really getting there yet. Let me see if we can think of another example. I eat only prasadam. Okay. That's good. I read at least one verse of śrī-mad-bhagavatam every day. Very good. At least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, at least. Minimum, yes, minimum. And at least one verse of Bhagavatam every day. Very good. What else? Yes, Sachinandan Swami. You look, I didn't recognize you. Yadunandan Swami Maharaj. Sorry? Please, yes.
In line with the class.
Yes.
All the devotees, friends who came to this festival will go back to Godhead very soon.
Wow. You just made a lot of friends. So, I should repeat for those who didn't hear. His Holiness Yadunandan Swami has just actually given us a blessing. He called it an affirmation. Correct me if I didn't get this quite right. Everyone who has come here, who has assembled here, devotees, will go back home, back to Godhead in this life. Very soon. No, he said very soon. Very soon, yeah. Very soon, I don't know, that's kind of, very soon. Just now coming. Hare Krishna. We could do this longer, but there's one other thing I want to do, and for this I need your special indulgence and patience. And I want to make an experiment. We'll try it. I want to read something which I wrote for the occasion of Gaur Purnima in 2017. And so Gaur Purnima is coming up fairly soon. It's It's already end of January, so we can say like that, we're anticipating. And what I need is, I need two, let's say 3 devotees with a good sense of rhythm. Yes, Dhruva, Daksha Prabhu, yes. And who else? We just need hand clappers. Hand clappers. But the rhythm is like this. Not all of you, not all of you. That's going to be too loud. Maybe we build up after some time. But let's start with Janmashtami and Daksha and who else? One more. Okay, Mangala Chandrika. All right. All right, so let's see how this goes. I should maybe also say this is somewhat inspired by the beat generation. Have you heard of the beat generation? Poetry from the beats, the beatniks. They were before the hippies. It's from my generation. Hare Krishna. All right, here we go. All right, get this. He, that is the one, but not exactly only primordial he, finding himself repeatedly running up against the exasperating fact of it, that she, that is, his better than mirror, better half counterpart, other as none else, had no love except and save and only exclusively for him. A love so exclusive, so utter, so boundless and bounding, and so awesomely leaping beyond the very notion of boundaries. He, seeming to encounter boundaries, he, as I said, exasperated, unable to fathom, to be within her being, her living that fathomless love. He made a plan, a grand and glorious scheme, a divine, cosmic, super-temporal, yet time-entering resolve in and for just the right time. A time-entering resolve. You see, we're not talking about any ordinary Tom, Dick, and Harry guy stumbling lost and witless into this bozo circus of someone else's show of don't get me started fear and misery. No. We're talking about that bigger-than-life person neither you nor I can expect to just go and see on the TV, however we might try, however many channels we may think we have, it being entirely up to him, to whom and whether, if at all, he might be visible, he might reveal himself. Entirely up to him. I know there are those who would deny altogether any such a one. But we won't go there now with more and bigger things to say. What's bigger? You see, it's really all about rasa. It's really all about relish. Not you, not I can begin to venture into the vast waters of rasa. A little big Sanskrit word, R-A-S-A, rasa, relish. Relish of divine devotion. That swirl and sway and whelm and overwhelm of the one, really the two we're talking of. We think we have better things to do, when what really is to be done is to put our minds, our hearts, our everything in that ocean. That deep, sweet nectar ocean of rasa. It's for this nectar ocean of rasa that he, that mega fine person who has mega names, among which his closest friends call him Krishna, the all-attractive one, for experiencing even more fully than he would normally as himself this rasa of total, boundless love of her. That ultimate, fine, complementary person who has ultra names, among which her closest friends call her Radha. The best of beloveds, for her he comes here, descends, not exactly from the clouds, but from his home that makes our notions of home into crude imitation. He comes for her, for Radha. Krishna comes, descends, sets up, makes place. It is here he comes, to this spinning top of a planet, this chunk of, you name it, 10,000 temporary things that come and go, rocks, plants, animals, bipeds that come and go, remembered a while, then forgotten, hankered for, lamented for, fought for, died because of. It is here he comes, not for anything else, but for Radha. No, not exactly for Radha, but as Radha. As she who is the unplumbed deep of love, the vessel that is the storehouse, the primordial warehouse of every possible and every beyond possible shades and variations on perfectly, artfully, tastefully enacting and enacted love there could ever be. As the vessel of love, rather than the object of love, as the subject of love, rather than the object of love. And you would still be right to ask for the why of it. And that is just the point. It is about why. There is purpose, a point to it, and we, you, me, and all and every one and many and all of us who are the tiniest of beings, who are but infinitesimal traces of that one complete being with whom we become complete. The why of us becomes unveiled within the why of Krishna's coming, within his becoming the vessel, the subject of perfect, unending, expanding love. In becoming the subject, experiencing what is the glory of Radha's love for Krishna, Krishna comes for us, comes to share with us the unboundedness, the way, the broad yet straight and narrow way that, though straight, circles, orbits, brings us to our proper place of being, becoming with him, her, him, Radha, Krishna. I'm almost done. He comes for us, gives himself, gives his names, invites, welcomes. Just speak out my names, uplift your voice, sound the call out my names, allow your heart to open to these names, which are us, Radha and Krishna, names whom we are so very fond of hearing, names who bring us running to you, who call, names who bear the original meaning of the word name. Okay. I know you might not believe this. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I didn't make it up. Nor did any off-the-street guy dream this up. I know it's way out there and it's easy to let it slide, but I say give it a good hearing. That's what it's about, beginning from the first time in our lives to hear what's going on. So, on this day, let's give it a go. It's soon his birthday, the day we know him as Chaitanya, as Gauranga, as the golden avatar. On his birthday, we actually prefer to call it his appearance day. You're invited to check out these names, the names of Krishna, of he who is the source of all joy, Rāma, of she who is the very being of divine love, Radha, voiced as haraye. Do give it a try, and you just might find there is something to it, something that is a lot more than something, which is who is someone, the one who's in your heart, the one waiting for you, waiting for your love, the one who are two, ever separated yet united. Give it a try and see for yourself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare. Once more, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. Gaur Premanande. Thank you all very much, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Hare Krishna.